Just a quick reminder before we get into the lesson to download the hands-on lab exercises that accompany this complete CCNA course. I'll include the link in the description. Also remember to subscribe and hit the notifications bell so you don't miss any of the lessons in the course. Okay, let's get into it. In this lecture, you'll learn how to configure your connected and local routes and static routes for IPv6. This is going to be a bit of a longer lecture than usual. And the reason is I'm recording this intro after I recorded the video. While I was doing the configuration, I made a mistake that I had to troubleshoot. So by watching it and watching me go through the troubleshooting process, you'll see how my mind thinks and the process I went through to discover the problem and to fix it. While you see me doing the configuration, see if you can figure out the mistake I make before I actually get there. So watch what I do, see what I do wrong. If you can't see what it is, you'll see what it is when I do the troubleshooting later anyway. So let's go. Hope you enjoy the video. So I've got the lab topology up here. I've got my routers R1, R2, and R3. And a couple of PCs, PC1 and PC2. I'm actually using routers to emulate the PCs here as well. And the scenario is that we've got a dual stack network. So I'm running IPv4 and IPv6 here. IPv4 has already been completely configured. We've got the IP addresses on everything, and I'm using EIGRP for the routing. IPv6 has been configured as far as the addresses have been set, but we haven't configured any IPv6 routing yet. So let's just verify that first. So I'll jump onto the lab. On R1, I can do a show IP interface brief, and I can see that my IP addresses have been configured on my interfaces. A show IPv6 interface brief, and I see that on those same interfaces, I have got my global unicast and my link local addresses configured as well. The same has been done on R2 and R3 as well. And if I do a show IP protocols, I can see that EIGRP has been configured for IPv4, but show IPv6 protocols, and I haven't configured any protocols for IPv6. So if I do a show IP route, I'll see my connected, my local, and my EIGRP routes there, a show IPv6 route, and I've got connected and local because I've configured the IPv6 addresses on the interfaces, so they get generated automatically, but I don't have any other routes in the routing table. I haven't configured any static routes yet. So because I've got routing for IPv4, I should be able to ping between my two PCs. So let's go on to PC2. I'll do a show IP interface brief here. Like I said, it's a router emulating a PC. Just to check what the IP address is, it's 10.10.3.10. And if I ping that from PC1, which is over on the other side of the network, that ping works. So looking back at the topology diagram, I've got IPv4 connectivity end-to-end across the network. But if I try pinging by IPv6 address, so let's do that. So I'll do a show IPv6 interface brief on PC2, get its global unicast IPv6 address, copy that and try pinging it from PC1. This is going to fail because I haven't configured routing for IPv6. The error message I get is that there's no valid route for destination. So let's look at PC1. I'll do a show IPv6 route on here, and I can see it's just got the connected and the local route for its local interface. So show IPv6 interface brief. I've got an IPv6 address on the fast0/0 interface there, but no routing configured on here. So let's fix this one first. Looking back at the topology diagram, PC1 is a PC and R1 is its default gateway. So I can see from the diagram that the interface on R1 facing PC1 has got an IPv6 address of 2001 db800:1/64. So let's configure that as the default gateway on PC1. So I'll go back onto PC1. Let's just move this across so you can see the topology diagram as well when I configure this. And on PC1, I'm going to do a config T to get to global configuration. Don't worry about it, this is just an artifact showing up below there. And the command I want to do is IPv6 route, and it's a default static route, so the destination is :/0, and the next hop address is 2001:db8, and then it's :0:0:0, and so on. So I can just say that as :1. I don't have to put in all of the fields of consecutive zeros. So that's my IPv6 route configured now. Let's also check that it's got connectivity to the default gateway. So I will ping that address as well. And this is because I'm at the wrong command level. I'm at global configuration. So if I hit the up arrow, Control A to get to the start of the line and type in do at the front of it, this command will work. And I can see that the success rate is 100%. So that all looks good. Okay, next one I'll do. So I'll configure it left to right from PC1 all the way across to PC2. So we'll do R1 next. R1 is directly connected to the 2001 db8:/64 network and the 2001 db801:/64 networks. So they're already in the routing table as connected routes. Let's just verify that. So I'll do a show IPv6 route, and I can see that 2001 db8:/64 is connected, and 2001 db801:/64 is also connected as well. But it's not connected to 2001 db802 or 2001 db803, so I need to add static routes for those networks. So at global configs, I'll go config T, and it's IPv6 route, and that was for 2001:0:2:/64, and the next hop address is the interface on R2, which is 2001:db8:0:1:2. So that's the route in place for the first network, and I can just hit the up arrow and edit this because the other network is db803. So I'll just edit it. The next hop is the same address again and hit enter. So those are my static routes configured on R1. Let's do R2 next. So I'll jump on there, and if I do a show IPv6 route, again, I've just got the connected and the local routes in there. So global config, and it's going to be IPv6 route is the network that PC1 is connected to. So it's 2001:db8, and it's 00, but again, I can just say :/64. And the next hop address is on R1, which is 2001 db8:01:1. And the other network is the one that's connected to PC2. Let's just move this across and see where that is. So 2001 db803, and the next hop is on R3, sorry. So let me edit this. So it's going to be 2001 db803:/64, And the next hop address was 2001 DB802. Let me just move that across. 02:1, which is the interface here on R3. Okay, so that's my 2 routes done on R2. Next up, we'll do R3 for its routes and show IPv6 route again, just to confirm. Yeah, just the local and the connected routes in there. So config T IPv6 route to the network connected to PC1. So that is 2001:/64 with a next hop address of R2, which is at 2001 DB802:2. And I also need a route going to 2001 DB801 on the link between R1 and R2. So 2001 DB801:/64 and the same next hop address on R2 again. Okay, so that's my configuration done on PC1, R1, R2, R3. Last thing I need to do is PC2. So I'll do a show IPv6 route on here. And I see again, it hasn't been configured with its default gateway address yet. So I'll go config T IPv6 route :/0 for a default static route. And check the address on R3. That is :1. So it's next hop 2001 DB803 :1 is R3. And hopefully, I think I've configured all the routes that are required there. So let's go into PC1 and see if it can ping PC2. Let's just check the IPv6 address on PC2 again. So show IPv6 interface brief. And I will copy its global unicast address. And then on PC1, I will ping that. And fingers crossed, we'll get a response here. Okay, it's looking like it's maybe going to time out. So let's do some real-time troubleshooting and see what's going on here. To troubleshoot a connectivity issue, it's easiest to work your way from the source to the destination. So while we're on PC1, actually, what I'll do is a trace route. In fact, I'll just hit the up arrow to get that address back, and I'll change the ping to a trace route and see how far this is getting. So the first hop should be 2001 DB8:1, which is at R1. Okay, and it looks like it's not getting anywhere. So maybe I made a typo somewhere. To break out of a trace route, I can hold down Control-Shift-6 at the same time, and then X, and that breaks out. You might want to take a note of that because it's really frustrating when you have to wait ages for a trace route to time out. So Control-Shift-6 all at the same time, then let your fingers off and then hit the X, that will break out. So let me check the IP route. So show IPv6 route. I should have a route for :/0. Yeah, that is right. And the next hop address is 2001 DB8:1. So that all looks okay. So let's just check I can ping that. So I will ping the first hop at R1, which is 2001 DB8:1. And that works. Let's check and see if I can ping R2. So I'll ping 2001 DB801:2 is the nearest interface on R2. And this looks like it's going to fail. Oh, actually, this is great that I forgot to do this, because it illustrates that I could put all of those commands in. I've got all my IPv6 addresses configured. I've got all my static routes configured, and the router did not complain at any point. It didn't give me any error messages, but when I'm trying to ping from PC1 to PC2, it's not working. And all my static routes have been configured correctly. So this can be really confusing, and hopefully some of you have noticed the mistake that I made. So let me show you what it is. I didn't pre-plan this, which is good. So that it highlights that even when you're experienced, you can make these kinds of mistakes. So if I do a show run on R1 and pipe that and include IPv6, hopefully you're going to notice that I have got a command missing. So I'll give you a second while I go to global config where I'm going to correct it to see if you can see the command that I forgot. Hopefully you've got it. I forgot to say IPv6 unicast routing. So like I said, it will let you do the full configuration, even adding routes without having unicast routing configured. But if you do that, it's not actually going to forward traffic, so the routing isn't going to work. So I need to add this command on R1 and R2 and R3, which are my routers, to allow them to route IPv6 traffic over the network. So I'll just paste that command in on R1, R2, and R3. And now if I go back to PC1 and try the ping again, all the way over to PC2, this is going to work now. Okay, so there you go. So now you can see I've got my connected routes, my local routes, and my static routes all configured, and I've got end-to-end connectivity across the network. I also just want to show you about how IPv4 and IPv6 are separate processes. So if I do a show IP protocols, that is going to show me my IPv4 routing protocols configured. I'm on the PC here, that's why we're not getting any output. I should be on R1, so I can do a show IP protocols, and I can see I've got EIGRP configured for IPv4, but if I do a show IPv6 protocols, I'm not going to see anything because I'm using static routing. So EIGRP is just configured for IPv4, not for IPv6. And I can do a show IP route, that shows me the IPv4 routing table. So whenever the router receives an IPv4 packet with an IPv4 destination address, it's going to forward it based on its IPv4 routing table. If I do a show IPv6 route, I can see the IPv6 routing table. So packets received with IPv4, routed according to the IPv4 routing table. IPv6 uses the IPv6 routing table. So they both work the same way, but they're separate. Okay, that's everything that I needed to show you here. See you in the next lecture. Thanks for watching. If you'd like to get the complete course ad-free right now, then you can enroll in my CCNA Gold Bootcamp by clicking the link above my head or in the description. It also includes full study notes, quizzes, and 150 pages of additional troubleshooting labs you can't find anywhere else.